Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for allowing us to see a day that was promised.
Standing across the street from his home, in front of the pond his son loved, Claude Hodges Sr. holds back tears.
We just walk around and catch fish, and that's what I think about. It's what I look at every day now. I sit out and I just think about us on these banks.
Claude Hodges Jr., known as C to his family, was a freshman at Northwest High School on the wrestling team and known for his love, smile, and care. His father tells me it is family and faith helping to keep him standing.
Please give me the strength and my wife the strength to bear this.
Hodges Sr. repeating one thing over and over again.
He was everything that you would want in a son and as a young man.
On Sunday, January 28, 2024, one father in Wichita, Kansas, would ask law enforcement to do a welfare check on his son after his ex-wife did not show up for their scheduled drop-off. According to authorities, at around 6:20 p.m. on January 28th, police would arrive at the apartment of 43-year-old Kylie Hodges Reynolds, which was located at 8405 West Central in Wichita, Kansas. When authorities walked up to the apartment to check on 14-year-old Claude Hodges Jr., they quickly realized that something was wrong when bullet holes were seen from outside the unit. Claude Hodges Jr. had just started his freshman year of high school in the fall of 2023. Before entering high school, he was a student at Wilburn Middle School, where he excelled academically and was the favorite amongst many staff. Claude Jr. became active in wrestling in his freshman year of high school and was said to already be on the varsity team. Loved ones would describe him as a sweet kid with a positive attitude, and he always kept a smile on his face. Claude Jr.'s father, Claude Sr., said that his son was destined for greatness in his life. Claude Jr. had his whole life ahead of him until his mother allegedly made a decision that would devastate a community. See, Claude Sr. and Claude Jr.'s mother, Kylie, were no longer together, and Claude Sr. had remarried some years back. The custody arrangement they share is not clear, but on that tragic weekend, Claude Jr. was at his mother's place, and his father said the last time that he saw him was Friday, January 26th, when he left. When he went to pick up his son 2 days later that Sunday at the agreed location, no one showed up and he could not reach him. Of course, this called for great concern because this was definitely out of character. Claude Sr. then requested a welfare check at Kylie's home, and when police arrived at the apartment, they knocked and received no response. They then observed a bullet hole in the apartment exterior wall and also found a fired bullet on the ground near the entrance. After seeing that, officers swiftly obtained a key to the unit and entered the apartment. Upon going in, they found a woman later identified as 43-year-old Kylie R. Hodges Reynolds of Wichita holding a handgun. Kylie was said to have a shotgun also nearby. Officers quickly pulled back from the apartment and notified negotiators.
Officers were called to check on his welfare last night after his father was not able to contact him. Sean Logging joins us live with what we know and also spoke with neighbors about how they're reacting. Sean?
Like Rachel, when Wichita police officers arrived to the Aspen Park apartment, they found a hole in the wall and a bullet on the ground. And when officers were able to get inside that apartment, police say that they found a woman holding a gun and another nearby.
I don't really know what I can say about it besides that it's just sad.
Wichita police say Sunday night the father of Claude Hodges called police to do a welfare check on his 14-year-old son after not being able to reach him. Police came to the apartment where the teen lived with his mother. Inside, police say they found a woman with 2 guns, leading officers to call in SWAT and negotiators.
There wasn't a lot of noise, but one of the neighbors around here said that they heard somebody on an intercom talking to him.
Travis Hoy among those living in this apartment complex, watching some of this unfold Sunday night and Monday morning.
I don't want to say you almost expect it, but I mean, hearing it, it's just sad that it's gotten that far, I don't even know what the motive was.
Now, according to the preliminary information, it indicates that negotiators began talking with Kylie around 8:20 p.m. Then a tactical team was called to the apartment around 9:45 p.m. Discussions with Kylie continued for several hours in an effort to convince her to put down the weapon and come out peacefully. Eventually, at one point, the negotiator convinced Kylie to come out of the apartment and leave her handgun on the ground outside. However, even though she dropped the weapon, she remained very close to the gun. Negotiations carried on into the early morning hours of Monday, January 29th. At around 1:40 a.m., Kylie quickly picked up the handgun again and walked towards officers while pointing the firearm in their direction. It was then that 2 SWAT officers from the Wichita Police Department each fired 1 shot towards Kylie, hitting her. After being shot, medical aid was given, and the EMS transported Kylie to a local hospital. Once officers went back inside the apartment, they tragically discovered Claude Hodges Jr. unalive in a bedroom from apparent gunshot wounds.
The investigation continues after 14-year-old Claude Hodges was shot and killed, found early Monday morning. And we're going to walk you through the timeline of what investigators say happened. Officers were first called to check in on the teen in an apartment near Central and Tyler on Sunday evening. Officers found a woman holding a gun. The KBI says negotiators talked with her for hours, trying to convince her to drop the gun. Just before 2 in the morning, they saw the woman pointed the gun toward officers, and that's when 2 SWAT officers then shot at her. She is expected to survive.
Yeah, Julia, Claude was a freshman at Northwest High. His dad says he was a great student. His family says he was kind, outgoing, and loved people and kids. Claude's father is devastated that the bright future he saw for his son is replaced only by memories.
Give us a piece of joy, Father, that my son had in him.
Claude making plans to share that greatness with his father in the future they were supposed to spend together.
What kid tells their dad that they're gonna buy a plot of land and we're gonna build houses on it, Dad, and so I can take care of you. And I'll get you your own area, Dad, so you can have your own spot. And we're gonna put fishing holes out there, Daddy, so we can go fishing.
Hodges says his son was the light of his world.
It just seemed that he could go into a room, y'all, that would be gloomy and he could smile and it'd be as bright as the sun is on us today.
That infectious smile, it's the one thing he can't stop thinking about.
You know, people talk about different things you remember. I think that's something that they'll remember the most is his smile.
Hodges says because of how incredible his son was, a parent of one of the wrestlers on Claude's team printed his image on t-shirts and towels for him, his wife, and his son's team. He says now more than ever, he feels it's important to let those he loves know how he feels because you never know when they may be gone.
There was no rhyme or reason to the slaying of the teen, and it was a hard blow to all who knew and loved Claude Jr. Though his mother was shot, she did undergo surgery and is expected to survive. Sadly, Kylie is allegedly the person who took her own son's life for no reason at all. Police said they will continue to investigate the unaliving of Claude Jr. One of his peers and friends he grew up with said, "I will miss Claude Hodges. I was friends with him since kindergarten. He was a good person, but an even better friend. I miss you, Claude. Rest in peace." It's really pulled at my heartstrings because these young people should not have to experience such tragedies. It is a ripple effect that causes more pain and loss that no one should feel in such a way to senseless gun violence. Claude Jr.'s memory will forever be cherished by those who knew and loved him, and from what I can see, he was beyond love. My deepest condolences to all his family and friends and loved ones, and please don't forget to comment your thoughts on this situation and your prayers as well for this family in this difficult time, and don't forget to hit that like button and share. Keep your people aware, and as always, remember to stay woke. Things change quickly.